Like my computer keeps doing that, and everything is hooked up, and it just
everything is hooked up. That is the problem with our society. We are all connected, and
right.
We don't necessarily want to be.
Right.
But I'm happy that everybody who is watching is connecting with us right now. Welcome to the Misfit Toys. Give me some snaps if you can hear me. Give me some jazz hands.
I'm for it.
That's right. We got fans from all over the world, from the UK, from Africa, from Southeast Asia, all the way across the United States, from New York to Chicago to LA. Welcome, everybody. I'm super, super excited. We have the funny, the beautiful.
That I curled my hair for you guys.
Vanja Renee. She's so fancy. She's so fancy.
Also, bougie house today with your curly hair and your skiing in the Aspens, Iggy.
Baby, I never do my hair anymore. I mean, I'm working from home. I don't do my hair. I put on my thick glasses where
I'm wearing my penguin pajamas. I'm having a pajama party.
Wait, what's on there? I like that.
These are the little penguins.
Oh, cute.
Oh, goodness, so cute.
So I literally rolled out of bed, put on my pajamas, poured myself a nice cup of tequila, and called it a day.
Hello. So, I've got and Red Bull. That's how I get through the day.
What is your drink?
I got my Daiso Japan cup. Yes, bitch.
Oh, hey, yes. I love Daiso.
Oh my God, of course you do, because we're Asian and it's what we do.
I know. I love Daiso.
Everybody give some jazz hands to Ray Turner, who's watching from the UK. What's up? We love Ray. Oh my goodness. So first question of the day. What did you have for breakfast? Maria, what was your breakfast today?
Okay, today I had leftovers. My brother-in-law made steak and potatoes last night. And I added a little egg because it's breakfast. Oh my God. It was fire. Those potatoes with the garlic and the rosemary and the thyme, little salt and pepper. Ooh,
shut up. So
that's what I had for breakfast.
Oh, that's nice.
Miss Vanja, what did you have for breakfast?
I had another Red Bull. I had a Red Bull. I had a coffee. A yogurt, like Faye. What's it? Is it Faye or Faye? You know what I'm saying? FAG.
No. What is it? And you call me the bougie bitch. What kind of non-gluten is that? What is this fudge? What are you talking about?
Faye is it's a Greek yogurt. It's kind of thick, and there's another thing where you can scoop in like honey. It's thick.
Oh yes.
White.
Is that what ladies are calling it these days? Yogurt?
Sure, whatever. Whatever you want is delicious.
I swipe right for Greek yogurt.
I have nobody's watching.
So I got this is me. This is my breakfast right here.
What is that?
Oh, an
edible?
Yeah, it is an edible gummy that my relatives brought me from Los Angeles. So I'm gonna have a cube of one of these and a sip of tequila, and I'm ready to go.
Nobody ever eats food these days.
Wait a moment. So which one is that? Because I've been trying to figure out which one is the best one for like an
This is my current favorite.
1-to-1 ratio.
Okay, it's called
What's the 1-to-1
plus uplift.
It's a 5 milligram gummy, and it's 2.5 milligrams of CBD, 2.5 milligrams of THC. It's a nice balance.
So the way I like it is like I'll pop one, wait about like a half an hour, like get my groove, pop another, and then if I'm really partying and I know I'm not going to be in public, I'll pop the third.
Yeah.
Because if I'm out in public, I can't, because like people are like, I'll get, and I just random nonsense comes out of my mouth. And the worst thing for me is to meet people when I'm high, because then like that's the first impression. And they look at me and I'm just like, your pores are like pink elephants. And they're like, what, bitch? What did you say? Like, I have no feel. Like, it's not cute.
But that's all right. When you're in LA, chances are they're high too.
That's
so they'll be like, pink elephants.
This is the crazy. Okay.
Yep.
Things got really bad in America. So I moved down to Mexico. I'm in Mexico right now because it got crazy.
I saw that on the previous thing of yours.
So I have people bringing me. I shouldn't even say this in thing. I have a secret supply of medical marijuana that like there's illegal smuggling coming from the other side. Like Mexicans are smuggling drugs from America into Mexico. That's how bad it's gotten.
They be like the government smuggles mass weapons of destructions. I think it's fine. I think we're good. Like there are worse things being smuggled to and from Mexico. Like it's fine. I'm not worried about they're not worried about marijuana.
So
isn't that true? So have you ever gone too far? Like have you ever gotten really high on an edible? Because that I have like a couple of years ago.
So let's hear what happened? Where were you? What'd you lick?
I think well, that was when I was on ecstasy. Let's see. See, now when I tell me ecstasy, I'm not gonna talk about that. We'll get into all of that. We don't need to know too much. No, but I think so I took an edible. Nothing was happening, and this is when I hadn't really taken a lot of or eaten a lot of weed, right? And my boyfriend,
when the edibles were new on the scene.
Yeah, and my ex, he was Korean. He smoked every day. And he was like, girl, you should do, some of this. Here's an edible. And I was like, nothing's happening to me. I don't feel anything. Nothing's happening. Let me grab some more. And I grabbed before 45 minutes. So I think I ate an entire brownie. I have no idea how much was in it. I was high for 2 days.
Oh, it happens.
Yep.
I think I was underwater. Yeah. Right? I was high for 2 days.
And our viewers are like, why are you complaining? You were high for 2 days. That's not cute.
Oh, no, I do not like that.
I was freaked out. I thought our friends that were over our house at the time, too much Red Bull. I thought that they were there for 2 weeks. I told my boyfriend, I'm like, come in.
So, Ms. Vanja, you are known for your comedy that you do in Hollywood. You host a show called The Main Event, correct?
Yes, I do.
How have you handled the main event during COVID? Have you guys just put it off? Are you doing it via Zoom? Are you just doing it in your living room? How are you handling the main event now?
No, good question. I shut it down for now. It was a great show. We're just on hold right now. Nobody knew it was going to go on for this long either. So it's like, what are we? So I ended up co-producing a couple of online Zoom shows. And actually, they've been great. They've been fun. They've been a lot of fun. Maria and I, we did a couple of shows together.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Let me tell you about this girl. Iggy, you already know. I just fell in love immediately. Okay. She went up first. I think twice when I saw you, you went up first.
I don't know.
I think, which is a hard spot.
Oh,
nobody wants to go. You served up sad, funny, in your face. And it kind of brings everybody else up. It gives everybody else permission to not be so cerebral and small and quiet. You know that fucking
for sure. Oh my God, you said that fucking hipster shit.
That's fucking East Hollywood shit. It's like we get it. We call it. It's not even laughter. We call it clapter. Oh, you're trying to get clapped.
Oh, like a golf clap, but for comedy.
Yes.
Oh, that is rather humorous.
Right? I'm woke. Shut the fuck up. Maria killed it. And I'm like, I need to know this girl. And then
Maria's been killing it. She's been having such a good time.
Oh my God. Stop it some more.
No, I love it. Absolutely love it. And
we're going to plug, so Maria and I have been working together. I launched the Misfit Toys Comedy Studio, which is a special comedy studio dedicated to promoting women in comedy. And we have, we're launching our new curriculum come October with all different kinds of classes, from comedy theory to comedy, to joke writing, performance technique. We've got career clinics. We have guests popping in, secret comedy guests to come in and, give the girls, women, ladies, some professional insights. And then we do one showcase at the end of every month. This showcase, we're doing Full Moon Showcase on October 1st. To show everybody what the Misfit Toys are all about. And I don't know, I'll let Maria, the proof is in the pudding, because you saw Maria doing her finest and it works. It works.
Yes. And not everybody is bringing it on that level. I mean, you go to a lot of these shows and a lot of open mics and stuff like that. And okay, there's a real difference, I think, in comedy, right? There's the people that are writers, and they're right, and they're like, oh, you're going to be good in a writer's room, but sit down. You don't need to be on the stage, though.
Yes,
well, it's like a songwriter. Just because you're a songwriter doesn't mean you're Beyonce.
Yeah, right.
And Beyonce necessarily ain't a poet.
Right.
Like she's not Maya Angelou. It's not crazy for me to say Beyonce's not Maya Angelou.
No, baby, she's not.
But that's what we need to do is we need to combine the Maya Angelou's with the Beyonce's to create that depth, but then that stage power.
It is,
and we really work on that. It's like, what are we work on creating those Maya Angelou's, and at the same time we work at the comedic Beyonce performance, and we work at it from all angles, and there's room for everyone. The last show was so good. I'm getting tickets as soon as
yay! So, okay, I want to know more about this show, though, Iggy. Okay, so, and why do you call it the Misfit Toys? I like that.
So, I've gotten some pushback from some of the women and females in the thing. So, I fell in love with the Island of Misfit Toys, that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Christmas thing. And I'm Jewish, so Christmas was always like this magical thing that I couldn't get a part of. And it's like, Misfit Toys, the Island of Misfit Toys, it's all of those people that don't belong. It's like the Glee kids in Glee. It's like a little mix of everyone that just sticks out. And my true, like what I teach is transformative comedy, which is taking your most vulnerable side and turning it into your superpower. And at the beginning of each class, I play a clip of Pepe Le Pew, the stinky skunk. And he's prancing around. Does he know he stinks? No. Flowers are dying, bugs are dying. He finds a cat. He's trying to love on her. She crying. She trying to get, but he doesn't know he stinks. He's proud.
Right.
And that's the art of comedy. Find out what your stink is and turn it into your superpower.
Of course,
and that's what we do.
Don't be rapey like Pepe Le Pew, though.
That's what I was thinking, but yeah, right?
Because also we have
rape was okay back then.
I mean, it is what it is. I get it, there were different times, you know what I'm saying? But it's also like we're very inclusive when we say, "Ooh, what you got, girl?
I'm so confused, girl." Because on this.
Lay them edges, girl.
Right? I'm like, I don't need for y'all to see where the weave starts.
Wait. Vanya, are you? What are you, girl? What are you? I gotta put on. Hold on. This is my trucker hat. When I put on, this is.
So this is his character hat.
When I put on this hat, I'm representing the MAGA Americans who just want to know. So Vanja Renee, what are you? Miss Vanja Renee.
I like when they do that too. They're like, you're so exotic.
Is Vanja kind of like a Vangina? Is it a Vangina? Are you a drag queen? Okay, let's just start with what are you? Like, what are you, Vanja?
So I'm Blasian. Which means I'm black and I like raisins. No, means it's really a mix of I'm black and Korean, which is a pretty volatile mix. It's like my parents met and
that's not a volatile mix. That's like a really popular channel on Pornhub.
Shut up.
Y'all coming up in the Pornhub world, y'all.
Oh my God. Wait, do you guys are just watching? There's XNXX, which is a really great channel too, FYI.
I don't know. Every time I try to go to another like X something and then you porn, I'm just like
Koreans and the blacks.
I was like, they're crap. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Like,
I wanted to see Koreans and blacks doing their thing. And apparently the product of their thing is Miss Van.
Yeah,
so you're a black Korean?
Black Korean. I mean, there's a few. I mean, I'm all the oppressed races. Let's see. Black Korean, Native American. If I did my 23andMe, it would just say job.
Dang, your college must have cost nothing.
Right? I'm all these things. And
I would have applied for so many scholarships. I would have been NAACP, Feather and Me. I would have been in all them scholarships.
Oh my God, I love that Feather in Me.
Oh All that does is give me permission to say all kind of ghetto shit.
Real talk, girl. Real talk.
Right?
That's why we love you. Because like I couldn't tell.
Funny? Oh, go ahead.
You could look when I look at you. I just am like, okay, she's sexy, and so she's like, is she Latin? Is she a little bit on the Asian side? Is she like? I don't get the. Maybe when you step into the sun, you get a little bit more on the African American side. When the head starts, I'm not quite sure. Right? All I know is I want it. Happen. I don't know what it is, but I want it.
I always like to see how the relationship goes when I start dating like a different race. To me, it doesn't matter. You know, I don't know if you guys are like that. I'm sure you don't. When it comes to race, it's like, whatever. Who do I mix with? I'm so weird. Who wants this? Right? It's like
I check it all on Tinder except for white. That's where I draw the limit. When I start slumming it and I'm desperate, then
right.
Then I'm like, all right, I guess.
Oh God. I always like the white guys when they date me. It's always, I don't think they know what's coming. I don't think they realize the heavy blackness because I'm from DC as well.
Oh, girl.
Then the head starts.
I heard about DC. Remember Dave Chappelle was talking about DC.
Don't even start. I'm not
baby
street corridors around
selling
Malcolm
drugs.
X Park.
Right?
What's up?
Oh yeah.
What's up?
I'm like, nigga, what? And he's like, oh God, oh, you can't say that word. I'm like, oh yes, I can, mofo. And then,
she's like, but you can't say it. That's where the problem is. You can't say it, so you don't like it.
I don't like dating black women so much because I can't pull their hair when I have sex with them.
Well, if the weave is real tight, it's okay.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. The last time I had
consent.
sex with an African American woman, I pulled her hair and she punched me in the face.
We don't like our hair touched. That's true.
It's expensive. That's right?
The first time a guy goes start doing like whoa.
Like, hold up now.
That's why black men step out and date white women, because they want to A, have sex in the shower, and B, pull their hair while they doing it.
Sex in the shower. That is hilarious.
Oh my God. There's a shower cap.
Right? Do I need to bring up my shower cap right now?
Oh my God. Where's your silk bonnet? Let me see your silk bonnet.
I got my hair wrapped. Look, my Korean boyfriend of 8 years. People like, baby, you got your hair wrap on?
Oh, that's a real one. That's a real one.
It's a thing because I did it a lot. I mean, I'm still bisexual. Mm-hmm. Like I'm more on the spectrum of gay. Like it's more like 20/80 now. But back when I was younger, all my girlfriends were black. And I was like, all I wanted to do was have sex in the shower. And they were just like, ain't having it. And I was like, ugh.
Oh, right.
Like, and I didn't understand why.
Party. Right.
Then they asked me to pay for their weave, and I was like, "That's a Lexus down payment." Hell, what the?
And the Koreans all have the bomb weaves. Do you know? Like,
wait a minute.
Right?
Wait, the Korean girl. Wait, you mean the Korean girl for doing?
No. I'm saying the Korean shop, like to get your good hair. It's called the Korean shop.
About it. Oh, they know.
I was like, what is that? That is so random.
Oh, and they know everything. They're like, come here, girl. Here's what you need.
Let me. Yes. So let Ajima hook you up.
Texture. I love them. I love my people.
Are you single? Are you single, Vanya?
Here's the thing.
It's how it goes. No. Okay. I was single for most of quarantine, and then I got back with my ex-boyfriend that I kicked out. I got back with him because.
Did he get tested before he came back? Because that COVID is real,
right? Because I have herpes, but I don't have COVID. No.
Get it, girl. We're trying to defy the stigmas. I am.
I'm kidding. Oh God. Yeah. So I got back with my ex. So we're trying to figure that out. So he's very sweet. I love him. He could be watching right now. Oh yeah, no. He's very sweet. I realized the problem. Look, he and I are both from really like oppressive religions, like cultish. Like he grew up. Really? Yeah, he grew up a Mormon, and I grew up a Jehovah's Witness. So it's like, girl. It's like we met on a website called "That Was Cool, but I'd like sex now."
I bet your favorite holiday is trick or treating because you both get to knock on doors. And
both get to knock on doors. Our jokes would be like, knock, knock. Bitch, you know it was me. Like, you know this joke? Knock, knock. Nigga. Anyway, I better stop saying that word here. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We are in a safe space. We say things that are inappropriate, but also we like to push the limits because sometimes they're educational moments, and it's a time for learning.
Black.
And
my sisters, I have sisters that are half Black and half Filipino, and so like most of my like family and friends, they're like it's Black culture. I'm surrounded by Black culture, and I am here for it. I know not to say certain things, you know what I'm saying, and even they tell me, they're like, "Man, you Black." I'm like, still. While I appreciate that and I am here for it, I still have to represent a certain, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but you did get the permission, which
thank
is
you. I know. I was like,
in Black, that is a big deal. If somebody goes,
sure is.
Woo! That's gold.
The only time I'm allowed to use the N word is when I'm having sex with my boyfriend. Because I'm like, who's my? I am, baby. I am. But that's the only time. And
DMX in the background.
We're in bed, and I'm like, who's my nigga?
I love it.
And he's like, yeah, I'm you know. But since this Black Lives Matter, it's kind of put things on hold, and we can't play slave and master no more.
I used to do that with my Jewish boyfriend.
He gets all like weird and the thing, and then it's like,
but if he's a Jewish boyfriend, who was the slave and who was the master?
Right? Good one.
Y'all were switch hitters or what?
Oh my God.
Would he call you Pharaoh though?
Right?
Yeah. He'd be like, it's time for you to pay reparations.
Oh my God.
Like, where's mine? But Iggy, you know what? You make a good point. Things have gotten so serious, you know, like, I mean, look, you know how they have those reface apps right now, and you can put your face. I was doing that a lot. Put your face on this thing, another person's body. My boyfriend put his face on like a Black guy, and it looked really funny. And I was like, "Oh, babe, you should post that." He goes, "Oh, I can't do that. Oh, then I'm doing blackface." I'm like, "What happened to us?"
No, what you're doing is Asian face, Black body. It's different. Black body is different than blackface.
That's a good point.
I mean, but it's like, what has happened? You know, that we're so. Oh, I can't even. I don't know. Maybe I have an unpopular opinion on that, but I don't.
It's hard.
Right.
It's hard because, like, I get it. The thing is, I want to speak on that. It's our younger generation and our generation too. We are starting to be more inclusive, and we don't want people, like, we've been oppressed for so long. So they're like, you know, I think what it is you go too far with it. And I think at some point we meet in the middle. But right now, because we're going through a shift in our society with it, we're like, well, what's too far and what's funny and what's really offensive? So while I agree with you, like, damn, we can't even make jokes that we used to joke around with, knowing full well that we are just joking. But you know what I mean? Like, at the same time,
I'm totally here for that. But I think we need to get back to what's the intention of things. And we got to also remember, comedy is also a part of, you know, we're the ones that take a look at the things that are hard in society, right?
Yes.
And give you a different perspective on it, and we feed it to you in a comedic way, because that's the only way that you can kind of handle it. And then maybe we can share something that draws us together or is enlightening. But all of us walking on eggshells, I think is that helping or is that hurting? I always think that dilemma myself as a comedian. And, you know, I'm talking about,
I have the answer.
Well, go ahead. Tell me.
So in any comedy show, I have my pocket Black person and my pocket Asian, and I put them in the audience, and then I refer to them, and I'm like, Keisha, and everyone looks at Keisha, and then I make the joke, and if Keisha laughs, everyone else laughs. And so I'll have my token, and I won't do any.
Are you being real about that? Because that's smart.
No. Trust me, Maria's been on those shows too. Because I talk about weaves and this and all the, and you know, and you know, being with a Black man for so long and having all the, but like I need to make sure that in the audience is someone who represents that culture.
Right.
And I look to them, and they draw the hurt line. And everyone looks at them. So I'm like, hey, is it okay if I say that? And they like, hell no. Okay, so that, like, they are the barometer. But I won't make those jokes if they're not in the room.
Right.
So I make sure that if we're going to talk about this subject, there needs to be a representative, not to make them the face of the race, but at the same time, they're the barometer. And usually it works because it's like, if they're not there, white people get really awkward. They're like, are we allowed to laugh at black people if there's no black people in the room?
Right. No, I feel you on that. I love that approach. And then it also has to be inclusive. Yes, we're making jokes, but we're making jokes about this person. We're making jokes about everything. And
but can you switch your jokes and punch up and have it be uplifting? And versus tearing people down, how do we make it uplifting?
I'm all about love. I hope so. I hope that's how it comes off because that's how I feel. I don't ever want to have jokes that hurt any specific group, not even my own, unless I'm saying something that's also like I had a bit about protests and how I love how the black people were doing the dance protests and would be out there. And it was just the whole thing about, I said, leave it to my people to be like, I'm mad as hell and I can't think. Like, wait a minute, is that the electric slide? But it's got to be fun, and that we love that. I love that about Black culture. I love that about us, and then I love things about Korean culture and Latino culture, which I grew up in. My best friend's from El Salvador, and I spent a lot of time over her house. I spent a month over her house one time. I know her parents were like, "Is Vanya still here?"
But by that time, she already learned how to make pupusas y todo. She's like, girl,
her mom was cooking, unlike my mama. So,
that also I think is important is that, like, for me, I've lived in Spain. I live in Mexico. I've lived in a lot of these places. I grew up in the projects when I moved to America, and I was raised by Black girls. Like, I learned how to double dutch before I could learn how to ride a bicycle.
Aww.
And let me tell you, the thing that sucks about being like the token white boy in like the Black neighborhood is they always make me the drug mule.
You always say alibi.
Always. No, because they're like, you white,
nobody
gonna be all right. You. Like, if I get caught, I'm going to be, but it's true. Because
they'll escort you home.
With something, you're like, oh, he's a little white Jew, they'll let me go. But if you're African American, you get caught with something, you get shot in the back, put away for several. So I was always, I'm like, what are you putting in my pants? Why is this? I literally was the drug mule for so many years of my life. Like, any paraphernalia, anything, they're like, give it to Igor. Give it to Iggy.
A true ally right there. If that isn't a true ally right there.
Right? Oh my
we need that kind of allyship these days. Right. Come on, white people.
Oh, it was like, have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been arrested, Vanya? Have you ever been like stopped by the police? When have you ever feared for your life? Or whenever have you bumped up against the system, meaning police, so that they, give us what was your experience?
I'll tell you, typically I play very dumb. Like, that's I go into super dumb girl, no matter what, because I don't want to make a blanket statement, but these guys sometimes, not all, have like a power thing, right? We know they want to feel powerful. So if I act really, my phone's supposed to, I thought I was hands-free. And they're like, no, your phone's free. I'm like, stupid. I'll just do that.
Sorry.
And it works for you. You've gotten out of it with that. You've gotten out of it with that.
That should work. They'll look at each other like, this fucking idiot. And I'm like, and I'll just play that. However, the only time I was in a little bit of fear was, and this showed me the real difference between how whites are treated by cops versus Blacks. I was someone was delivering me a summons. What's it when they want you to go?
A subpoena?
Oh, okay. Somebody wanted me to go to court because I didn't pay a credit card bill. Anyway, so this person was at my door and was banging on the door. I don't have to let them in. I didn't even know who this person was. I live alone.
Oh, no.
My boyfriend at the time happened to be there, and this person's banging on the door saying, open up, and that he was pretending he was a cop or something. I said, I'm not letting you in. I don't know who you are, blah, blah. He was delivering a subpoena, whatever. So I said, I'm going to call the cops. And I did. The cops came. My boyfriend is at one of them. This was from 3 years ago. So, a white guy.
I can barely remember their faces, let alone their names. So, girl, you're better than
right?
me.
One of many. I don't know. After they catch the attitude, they run. So he was with me, and the cops told me to come out. And they're like, it turns out this guy is just trying to deliver a subpoena. Here it is. And I'm like, oh, okay. But my boyfriend started screaming at them. He was screaming so hard at these cops. He was spitting in their faces. And I'm like, oh my God, this man's gonna get me killed. I was like, there's a black lady with you, with the black lady here. He was screaming, this woman lives alone. How dare you even, you should make this guy go away. I mean, he is spitting in their faces. Do you know what? They had their heads down and were apologetic. And I'm like, oof. This is weird.
So if Vanya, I'm gonna say your secret power is to act dumb.
That's my secret power. I just act dumb.
Maria, you get into a situation. What is your secret power that you whip out?
What you do?
What you do?
I'm gonna be this. I think it's the same thing. I just act dumb. Like I pull the Asian I don't know. Like I just you know what I'm saying? And that's a privilege for sure to have to just be like, I didn't know. I'm sorry. And I'll start crying. I'll start crying.
They love the dumb.
Oh my God. I got raided by the DEA because I showed up at the wrong time because I was at the time the guy I was seeing.
Because the crystal meth lab is open from 10 to 5.
It was cocaine. I am not that trashy. Thank you.
Whitney don't do crack. Whitney don't do crack.
Oh, Lord, please. I do not have, oh no. But yeah, and I just cried and I told them I just came here to make my boyfriend sopita. They were just and then at the end they were being really nice. But even my hood ass was crying, but I was like, I'm not trying to give you his name. But I was like, I made the mistake of looking at my friend at the time who was with me when they asked for his name. And I was like, nope. Am I supposed to give you that? I don't know.
You don't have to do
anything. So my secret power, I have two. Number one, I activate the super Jew.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Hanukkah. So if that doesn't work,
bye.
Then I'll switch in to the
what's that?
Ossifer, it's my first day in America. And I didn't know that they have speed limit near school. In Russia, we call it population control. I didn't know.
Oh my God.
So I also either it's super Jew or totally stupid, like immigrant, but I'll work the Jew angle. And I'm like, you don't, Hanukkah. I got Miss Greenberg on speed dial. She going,
Have you heard of those Hasidic Jews that are drug smugglers?
Oh yeah,
and they use, girl.
Can we please not talk about my uncle right now? Can we please?
Legit, they use Hasidic Jews because they're dressed in full garb, traditional, and they are traditional Hasidic Jews. But they use them because no one suspects that this Hasidic Jew with his curls is gonna smuggle a whole bunch of drugs.
Oh no, we had an entire barge of weed coming into Manhattan during the pandemic, and they caught the Hasidic Jew.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it was
they're packing a lot of the
it's just all about the money. I'm sorry, we don't even do the drugs. We just want to make the money. It's the stereotype there. It's just we're all about the money.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, that's good money though.
And my mama, she's the same way. She was like, Iggy, I have no business idea. I'm gonna be drugs dealer.
Oh my God!
But don't worry,
it's legal
this time. It's legal this time. She opened up one of the first pot shops, and she was the frontier in Denver, Colorado. She started the whole pot business thing.
Oh my gosh!
And that was a big deal. She was in charge.
Were you allowed to smoke weed as a kid, in high school?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. If I can get straight A's, I can do whatever I want.
Love
That's a good pair. Yeah.
So she was very much if you get a 4.0, you don't have a curfew. You don't if you can manage a 4.0, I was very, so she even gave me an American Express card when I got my first 4.0 in high school.
Wow.
And then the bill came and she gave it to me. And she's like, what, you think I'm going to pay for it?
Smart.
I was like, I was mowing lawns for like a month. I was like, no. She's like, I'm not the idiot. You have just the card. No, and it taught me, you read the contract. In the fine print, never said I was going to pay.
Oh my God. Smart.
She gangster. So
she taught you about money very
on
early.
the mama trip. So I learned a lot from my mama. Read the fine print. What did you learn from your mama, Vanya? What one big lesson have you learned from your mama?
Hold on now.
She's like, well, if she's Asian, I'm gonna get low self-esteem, no self-worth, get a rich husband and do what he says.
Oh my God!
Because I got an Asian mom, so we're here.
Oh my God! No, let's see. Everyone needs a Mama Nina.
That's so true. Mama Nina is gangster, and she is just the cutest little thing. Anyway.
I wish I had a badass mom. I think. Look, I do find that there are a lot of things about myself that whether we want to be like our moms or not, it kind of just comes up. My mother did not care for me. Meaning there was a lot of rivalry. Yeah, there was a lot of anger, a lot of rivalry. She told me I was ugly most of the time. Ugly, an embarrassment, stuck up.
So the black side comes from your dad's side.
Well, here's the thing. It's a quarter Asian. My dad is the one that's half. My mom is half American Indian and black. My dad is Korean and black.
Oh.
Wow.
All of the kids look very different, actually.
So basically, if we have kids, it's going to be like an Oompa Loompa. Like we have no idea.
You don't know what's going to come out.
So your mom gave you thick skin? Was that what you would say? Like she taught you to be like
so.
self-reliant?
She taught me to be the opposite of that. So there was I think she had a lot of sadness. My dad was cheating a lot on her too. There was a lot of sadness. So every woman is now competition, even her own daughter. So because she felt so sad about herself, any woman now, like there was daggers. And I think that taught me to be the opposite of that. I'm like, that's not who I want to be with women. That's not who I am. I would never tell somebody they're ugly or an embarrassment. I spent a long time feeling bad about myself. So I put a lot of work into myself. Unfortunately or fortunately, because of that. But for the most part, it was just how not to be. We're not close now. She hasn't talked to me in 2 years.
Oh, that doesn't hurt.
But you know what?
I mean, that does hurt. Like that does.
Yeah. But you know what? That's toxic.
Like I can't imagine like a day
yeah.
talking to my mom, but she's vicious. Like she's like, Iggy, do you own a mirror? Like she'll never tell me that I'm ugly, but she literally she's like, did you watch that last podcast? It's called Powder Foundation.
Oh my God.
Lighting.
See,
like,
I think with like
you though, right? You know it's coming.
Yeah,
from,
you
but
can tell.
She didn't say ugly, but she was just like, look at Maria and how beautiful her face is. Why do you look like orange? You look like a tangerine. What's wrong with you? You're supposed to be the gay.
There's a fine line with ethnic parents,
you look like
man.
a homeless Jesus. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, Mom, can we look at the content? And she's like, fuck the content. You look like tomato.
But I know she loves you and she's on your side. And
she is. Maria, give us your latest, because you've given us other things that your mom has taught you, but you're really close with your family. So what were some of the latest mom?
Oh,
is there a mustache on your finger that I just noticed?
Oh yeah, you've never noticed it?
No,
I got this
bitch.
purely for comedy.
Oh, that's cute. Wait, is that a tattoo?
Yeah.
That is hilarious, girl.
I've known you for so long and I haven't even noticed.
Oh my God. It's so rad. I was just like,
I want to be like you. I want that.
I want a mustache.
Yeah,
I want a mustache.
No, but if
I
I
want a
get
mustache and job where I see the little mustache doing what it's doing. Like that is hilarious. Like
that is so cute.
Hilarious.
But if I do it, you know that I'm copying you. I'm just.
That's a lot of people actually. I see it with like I got it randomly with my sisters, and this was probably either right before or around the time handlebar mustaches were like becoming a hipster thing, you know.
Oh,
and so I got it because it's just so funny. I'm just like, these are the funniest mustaches ever, and I just wanted it, and so yeah, it's been like 10 years, maybe.
What'd your mom say?
Anyway.
What did your
my
mom?
mom doesn't. First of all, mom doesn't like the fact that I even get tattoos. Every time I get a new tattoo, she's like, "Okay, that's it," and I'm like, "Bitch, no." Like,
you're like, "What are you running? You're not running me."
With my mom, she teaches. What I don't even know. Like, we fight a lot. She is teaching. I'll tell you what she is teaching me. She's teaching me hella tolerance and understanding because she's very much like basically a Trump supporter. Because she's old Filipino, you know what I'm saying? Like she's 70 and she was born and raised over there. We came to the US when I was 6 months old from the Philippines. So, you know, she was 35 when she came here. And so, you know, like she's got that old school, all of that. And she teaches me, like we got into a big fight over the whole, oh my gosh, I forgot his name and I feel awful. But the guy who was murdered by the dad and the brother. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The dad.
Yeah, it was I think on the East Coast somewhere. But anyway, I feel bad that I can't. Huh?
Wait, the dad and the brother got murdered? Okay, go ahead.
No, the dad and the brother murdered a black man. It was that
was on there running. That was running.
Yes.
And that was in the South. That was in Georgia, I think.
Yeah. So we got into it about that because I kind of proved her wrong in the whole her whole belief system in our system in the government, and I was like, this government is trash, and I explained it, and I found a chink in her argument, and she lost her damn mind. My mom has short man syndrome. Like she will fight you even though she's 4'11".
Napoleon.
Yeah, there you go. Napoleon syndrome. Absolutely. So we do not talk politics. I make a point of it that if she brings it up or if somehow it comes up, I just shut it down immediately because we are on opposite end of the spectrum. I'm a total I'm like an extremist, radical, and she is like conservative Republican. Oh my God. Yeah. So I would say tolerance is one of the big things that she's teaching me.
Yeah.
All right.
Teaching us what not to be sometimes, you know. But I mean, that's great. I feel like I'm trying to learn that with some of my friends. I have a Filipina girlfriend who's also a Trump supporter.
We're really understand.
Yeah, we're a tight knit group of friends. But when she went that way, and she's always had, I got to speak to this low self esteem about herself. Hated the way she looked. She always wanted to be with a white man. She wants to have white children. She is beautiful. Probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. Hated herself. There's so much self-hatred. And I know that goes hand in hand. I mean, so beautiful. She would go and complain to other women who were white, who felt less attractive than she was. And she would go, I want to look like you. I wish I had your nose. I wish I had your this. I wish I had your eyes. And I remember a woman looking so sad when she's telling her this because she's like, this woman is so beautiful. I feel ugly next to this woman. And she's saying she wants she felt like she was making fun of her. Right. And it's just, but having a girlfriend like that too, you have to learn some, as you said, tolerance with that. It's hard. I just say, I don't want to talk about it.
No. My business
all you can do.
My business partner is hardcore Republican, self-hating gay. You know, and it's just one of those battles within, and we can't. But so change of topic. It's time to bitch. It's time to bitch. What is bizarre, ironic, terrifying, crazy, and hard in your life? And let's skew pandemic. So let's bitch about this session. We're 6 months in. Everybody I've talked to has had migraines, has been depressed, has been suicidal, has been like everybody in my life in the last week at the 6 month checkpoint has had a moment of darkness. How are we handling? What is your darkness? Maybe you're skeeting on by.
It was rough there for a while. I would think earlier than 6 months. I would think I was raised by an animal. What's up?
Aww.
That's Ray.
We love Ray. We love Ray.
We love Ray.
So let's hear everybody's bitch.
It was hard for me. I was thinking about 4 months in. It's gotten kind of better now, but hard because you lose your your routine of getting up, going to work. I'm working from home. It's sometimes I forget. I'm like, did I shower today or what? I stink. Let's not shower. You know, like that's the only way I would know. I didn't even shower.
Because this is the thing that a lot of comedians, especially the comedians in the Misfit Toys and students and people who are working in the comedy, they think that they can just jump into comedy and have comedy pay for all their bills 2 to 3 years in. Is that a true, real statement?
Nope.
So, and I know the answer because like a lot of my even comedian friends that have Netflix specials still have a side gig. Now, what is your side gig? Do you have a side gig? Do you recommend for startup comedians just quit everything and just do comedy? Or do you recommend that they keep a side gig going while they're pursuing their comedy? What would be your advice to young aspiring comedians, and how have you handled, getting into comedy?
Iggy, that's a great question. Yeah, I think it's a different road for everybody, right? That's the thing about the arts. That's the thing about the industry, entertainment industry, is that there's no clear path. Like when you have a regular office job or whatever, the ladder to success. For me, what has worked, I do keep a day job. I work as a marketing director for commercial real estate at a company called CBRE. It's really busy. It's the top company in the real estate company in the world. But it's also creative. I get to do marketing. That's a perfect thing for a comedian, right? I get to design and think of like quippy, fun things to say in a marketing strategy. So I have that job and I love it. At first I used to hate it because I felt, why can't I just quit and like devote all my attention to my comedy? But you don't always get that luxury at the top. And I think it's important to have real life experiences, not just to be going to comedy clubs every night, but actually go to an office or have a regular day job or
makes you more relatable. It makes you more relatable because you're part of like what the real world. Because most of the real world, when I say real world, like people, the majority of the world doesn't go to a comedy club, doesn't get stoned with their friends, doesn't do they get stoned with their friends, but like on the regular, that's part of it. It's not relatable.
You got to relate to other people. And
so I try to tell all my comedian friends, like, get a good side gig going. And what I found is when the pressure's not on your creativity to feed you, it can flourish. Because that's a lot to put on your creativity and your inspiration. Is not only does it have to feed your soul, it's got to feed your body and your family. That's a lot to ask of someone something. Maria, how has your comedy journey been?
My comedy journey has been honestly like really amazing since the quarantine started because
welcome.
Exactly. Iggy is honestly like the biggest factor of my comedy career in the last 6 months. So thank you for that, Iggy. You're amazing. Proof is in the pudding. But a lot of people
great.
I love other people are like doing their 9 to 5 and then they go to the comedy clubs every night. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not that type of person. I am not a hustle and bustle, constantly on the go. Got my side project, got my passion project. I got my 9 to 5. I got my hustle and grind. No, I'm a person who needs her to decompress after the end. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I do shows, if I do like 2 or 3 shows in one day, to me, that's a whole ass work day.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot for me because I also am kind of an introvert. Like it doesn't seem like it because obviously like I'm very like fun and loud, but you have to be able to shut it off. And I don't have the mental and emotional capacity to do all of that and then some, you know what I'm saying? So when this quarantine happened, I took to it. I hit the ground running and I started doing all these Zoom shows, doing everything for comedy. And because I finally had time to be able to focus on what I really wanted to do and still have time to decompress.
Yep.
I love it. Because there's a lot of comedians that start with the program or that I meet out at competitions, etc. And they're really hard on themselves because they've been in it for several years and they're struggling to pay the bills and they feel that they're not a success. And I'm trying to explain to them that comedy is a journey.
Sure is.
And what people don't know is it's an expensive journey. To pay for the coaches, the classes, the transportation, the drinks at the open mics, and then the camera crew to tape your set, to get the good audio, the editor to edit the stuff, to submit to the thing. Like there's a huge investment involved, and
it's a full-time job.
It's
and also make sure you let them know. So people talk about you're not even going to really get good at it until about 10 years.
Well, that's when you go on break. But people are like, they freak out at that.
Yeah, 1 year and they're like, I should be having my big shot now. I've been in for a year. I'm like, it takes 10 years to even really get good. And then after that, it is a journey. It's a journey that, unlike acting, that it's all about, you got to be young and cute or whatever the F. You can be in stand-up for however long. In fact, the older, the better. We like you to get up there with that experience and talk real talk. People love that.
Young comedian, like going to all those open mics at like in LA. I was just like, you're a bunch of young ass kids. Yeah. It's always a young straight white guy from the Midwest. I'm like, what do you have to talk about?
Don't forget I'm so old. I just turned 26. I'm like,
for real.
I'm 43 years old.
You're 43?
I'm old.
Bitch, you look great.
We the same age. High five.
My God. That Asian and black, that it don't crack, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Black don't crack.
Ooh, go on ahead with your bad self.
We got 10 minutes left to go. Our power words. I'm going to say a word. I want you to tell me what it means to you. Failure. Vanya, go.
Success. I thought it was like a one word. Failure is great. Keep failing. Keep failing. Failing means you're doing something. Failing means you're trying. If you're not failing, you're not trying. If you're sitting and you're safe, you're not trying. So get out there, fail quickly, fail often. 61, you win, Ray.
Damn, go on ahead, Ray.
So failure means you're trying, you're doing something.
Failure means you're trying. Failure means you've tried. I can't wait to fail. Get out there and fail. Try.
Can I have all my students and all the other working comedians who feel like, when you bombed, that's actually, it's better when you bomb. You can learn more from a bomb set than you can from a set that you knocked out the park. Maria, failure.
Honestly, same thing. I'll add to that. Learning. You're learning. You're like, you're not failing. There's no such thing as failing if you keep trying. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely.
Success, Vanya. Success.
I had a good time. Success means I went up there. I had a good time, not in comparison to anybody else. Not in comparison to, did Maria have a set that was better than mine? Probably. However, did I have a good time? You know, Maria's gonna have a set better than everybody's, but did I have a good time? That's my success. And the more, keep having good times.
Success, Maria.
That I love that, because that's seriously, when you have a good time, it doesn't matter, because people will see that and they're going to enjoy it with you. Like, even if you say even if you think you didn't have the best jokes or they weren't that funny, if you have that energy and you're up there, you will have a successful set. The more vulnerable, the more like open you are. You can see that people think you're my carrot. That's success right there, baby. That's okay.
That's a good time. That is success. That is success. Because I agree with that fun time. Like, I've had a lot of quote unquote success in my life and multiple careers where I thought I made it and I got that goal, and that goalpost was constantly moving. It was make this amount of money, get on stage with so-and-so, perform at this and such, I remember when I got on stage for the first time with Louis C.K. at the Comedy Store, I thought that was success.
Me too. Yep.
And then the next day,
it's all gone.
I'm like, so now what? And so it really, success is something, it's about enjoying that journey and just, are you moving forward towards that?
Yep.
That goal. And the goal doesn't have to be super specific. It can be north, south, east, west, but are you moving in that direction? Are you heading there? Are you getting there? And are you enjoying it? And I think that's 100%. A huge part. Are you making steps forward to what you want? And are you enjoying the process? And that is success. Because once you get there, you're going to realize very quickly the goal has moved. You got it. But then the next day you're going to be like, okay, now what? And if that's not success. The next one, identity.
That's a good one.
What does identity mean to you, Vanya?
Ooh, that's a good one. Especially since I have so many different. I think
schizophrenia. Is that what you're saying?
Right?
My identity is schizophrenia. Is
right?
that
right? Identity. People, my B people. I think back to that video from a long time ago. The girl finds her B people. It doesn't matter what they look like. It doesn't matter. Are they my same race? Or did they used to be Jehovah's Witnesses? Are they all 43? The identity. Who identifies with this, and also loss of identity also is important to me. Lose all those barriers and come together like that. Come together. That's more important to me.
So when I say identity, who do you identify with? How do you identify yourself? Where do you place yourself in the spectrum of people and this human race? What do you identify? Do you identify as a comedian? Lover. Do you identify as the
lovers, the happy? I'm not saying I'm always happy.
But like lover in what, like the slut sense, or like just like the hippie sense, like love?
I think the hippie sense. People who want to bring it all. I want the utopia. I know that it's weird because I want the utopia, but we're at the same time kind of living in a dystopia. I want to keep my perspective on the happiness. I can look at many different things. Sadness.
I love that. Happy. Maria.
Oh, that's
Cuando te miras, ¿cómo es tu identidad?
Man, honestly, my identity there's so much. Like I feel like a lot of it has to just come from within yourself, because if you identify too much with like external things, that could really mess you up. But at the same time, there are things like I'm just a big brown girl trying to make it in this big white world. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's it all is a little bit of both. Like you have to learn how to bring, like, your identity has to come from within you and what you not based on external things, but at the same time, you identify with a lot of different people, groups and whatever. So I think identity is probably a little bit more, I guess, fluid. Like it's ever changing sometimes, you know what I mean? Because you grow, you evolve. I don't know. It's not really solid per se in my head.
So her identity is fluid. And I like that. I have a very diverse identity because, I'm a gay ex-Soviet Jew that was raised by Black girls that escaped America and lives in Mexico now.
Love it.
So I have all of these different layers. Yep. And one reason I'm so good at comedy is because I know so much about different cultures. And I know like the secrets. Like, I know the secrets. I know how many donkey hairs and pieces of chewing gum you need to fix your muffler. Like I know the Mexican secrets. Like I know that mañana doesn't mean tomorrow. That mañana is the polite Mexican way of saying go yourself. Like I know these things. And then the Mexicans get upset. They're like, shh, don't tell the gringos, la cabron. No. They think we're saying tomorrow. No, we're saying bitch never. Like, they don't want them to, like, so I feel like I have the inside scoop of all, but a problem for me was to know your audience. Not every audience is prepared for the full on, like, that was a hard thing and is still something for me to learn is like knowing that audience. And that was a challenge. Have you ever had an issue? Now, going back to comedians that are watching, we got a couple minutes left. How do you handle an audience? What are your audience techniques? Give all of our comedians watching and other people, like, how do you handle a boardroom, an audience? What are your secrets? Go.
Okay, I know you got a little bit of time. Real quick, I've had to learn how to handle an audience because, you're gonna blow. You're gonna get up there and bomb sometimes. If I see a heckler that's been getting every comedian before I go up, I typically, instead of like engaging them on the stage, I'll engage them pre going on the stage. So I'll sit smart. Or near them. I'll start hanging out, see why they're heckling people. Typically they're just drunk. So I'm like acting like I'm drinking with them, high five and like, oh, the show.
Oh, wow.
And
I like that pre-meet and greet. That's
right. And so when it's my time to go up, I'll say, hey, I'm going up next. Like, what? We got you. And then that will shut them up. So I do like
that is so smart.
Love that. Maria, do you have an audience technique that you would love to share with everybody, or how to handle the room?
Honestly, I try not to think too much about the room as far as like just having a good time and just being my authentic self and making sure they have a good time. And yeah, like I try not to think too much about it, because then I'll get in my head and then it's just not, you know what I mean? Everybody, like, then you get in your head and they see that you get in your head. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go up there and be like, we having a good time tonight. And that's all that matters. And usually you're good.
I love it. So speaking of shows, audiences, I know the Misfit Toys, we are doing a full moon showcase on Thursday, October 1st, putting it out there. And then we're relaunching the studio with an entire curriculum. It's going to be amazing. So please check out the show on October 1st, and then email or come in contact with myself or Maria de la Ghetto. If you want to join the Misfit Studios, we will be holding auditions shortly afterwards from the showcase. And that's big on our calendar. Vanya, what else is going on? Are we going to have this Cats show back on? Are you going to be doing any? What's going on? What's going on? Right. What should we tune into?
At the start of quarantine, I started the comedians in condos with cats doing comedy. It's just like little 2-minute skits with my cats, and it got pretty popular. I stopped it for a while. We're picking up on season 2 coming up soon, and then obviously a lockdown. We'll start up again with the main event. I would love to have both of you on there. Maria,
yes.
You about it. Yes, baby, I want you on. So I just, we need to keep this comedy thing going.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, Maria. I love you, girl.
Thank you so much.
We will be
I have a show tomorrow. I have a show.
Wait a minute.
Who are you going to be?
Tomorrow night, it's Brown Rice Comedy. I'm so excited.
I love it.
Yes, it's a free show. All you got to do is slide in my DM to get that Zoom info. So at me, Maria de la Ghetto, on all the platforms. I also have a show with Dat Fan on Saturday. Nice. That one is, I believe, at 6 p.m. It's also always on my Instagram. So at me, let me know.
Hit up at Iggy LoveSky and Vanya. Is that your? Is that your?
Oh, yeah, I should put that out there. At Vanja Renee.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
What an awesome show. We'll see you next Thursday, and we'll see you at all the different comedy shows coming up in these next couple of weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.